worked in the service industry will tell you it is not easy. Waiting tables for tips is a grind for sure. Our next guest is well aware of that. That's one reason he started a special breakfast club in Boston where they surprise servers with tips often well over $1,000, which I know. I would have loved that tip. That makes him a rad human. All right, from the $1,000 Breakfast Club, let's say hi to Richard, everybody. Welcome to the show. So you're a lawyer, but you were a waiter at once, right?
I was a waiter when I was in college and in law school, and it's much more fun being a waiter than a lawyer sometimes.
Yeah.
It
depends on the day.
No one likes lawyers, so.
All right, well, explain how it works. How does Breakfast Club work?
Okay, so what happened was I was in my car one day, and my brother called me and said, I've got this thing you're going to love. My brother's also a lawyer.
Yeah.
He said, I went to this breakfast club. I said, what's that? He said, you know the way you kind of give out $100 bills every once in a while to make somebody happy because it makes you feel good?
Yeah.
This group gets together. Everybody brings a $100 bill. You can't bring 20s. I actually bring hundreds in case people forget.
Yeah.
And we gather at least 10 people together, and we hand the waiter at the end, or the server, the server, the at least $1,000 tip. That's why it's called the $1,000 Breakfast Club.
That's so cool. How do you choose the person? How do you?
We choose the restaurants, really. We
Okay.
don't want to know who the person is. Part of the excitement and not knowing what's happening is the surprise element.
Yeah.
So I usually pick IHOPs or something like an IHOP just because I want to place.
Love some IHOP.
Yeah,
After
IHOP's
a
good.
good night. Yeah.
Yeah, IHOPs are good because the meal's $10, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if you're a waiter in an IHOP, you're not making big tips. So they're not getting $1,000 tips, not in a fancy steak restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we do IHOPs, and whoever it happens to be, they get assigned to our table. I make sure it sounds a little mean, but I don't want them to split the tip. I want the tip to be there so they can go home and do something that they couldn't normally do.
Yeah, absolutely. God, it's so thoughtful. So tell us about Roberto.
Oh, you know about Roberto already?
Yes.
So Roberto was my favorite server, his reaction. So he gets the tip. He looks at me and says, you know what I'm going to do with this? And I say, no. How do you know so fast? He said, my mother needs a hearing aid.
Yeah.
Insurance won't pay for it, and she can't afford it. So I'm going to go home and buy her a hearing aid.
Oh, my God. Well, Richard doesn't know this, but Roberto is actually in the audience right now with his mama. So say hello to Roberto. Hello. So, Roberto, tell us more. Tell us about what that tip meant and how it was used and what that meant to you.
Well, first of all, I would like to say thank you, Mr. Brook. Thank you, Kelly Clarkson, and thank you all the audience. We are just a Venezuelan family. We arrived to the United States 1 year ago. Obviously, due to our political and economic crisis, we moved to the Dominican Republic years ago. So my mom has been always supporting us and prioritizing us.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the Dominican Republic, it's expensive. I couldn't get my mom's hearing aids. So I did study political science in Venezuela. After that, I did study my master. I get my master's degree in the Dominican Republic. So finally, when I started working as a server at IHOP, I wasn't expecting this. And so my mom has been always supporting us. And I decided in the United States, I'm going to put my mom first because she put us first all her life. So now it's her turn. Now it's her turn. And when I received your tip, your big tip, Mr. Brooks, I absolutely knew what I'm going to do and how I'm going to spend this. So I did get my mom's hearing aids. So the problem is now she listens much better. I cannot have private conversation with anyone. She's listening everything. So finally, I want to say thank you, Mr. Brooks. You have rebuilt our trust in American society, American solidarity, and American responsibility. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, that's so cool.
I feel so grateful. Thank you. And you have been a miracle in my life. You have changed my life. In times for I have these new ears. I'm learning English because I didn't pronounce the good words. I'm working so hard to speak your language. Thank you so much.
We'll take it. Yeah. I'm like, y'all are killing me. Here you go. That's so awesome. Well, Richard, that's so beautiful.
I'm practicing my daughter's wedding with the tears.
It's like, oh my gosh.
Thank you.
It's so moving. It's so beautiful. And you just never know like how you're going to impact someone's day. It's a beautiful thing. Well, Richard, we love what this Breakfast Club is all about. So we're kicking in $1,000 to give your server at your next outing.
Thank you so
we'll
much.
pay for
That's
that.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And double it.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with what I'm liking.